Hi, and welcome to our podcast called Balancing Act. My name is Sharon Craig, and my co-host is Holly Bergen. In this week's show, we discuss the problem of kids and technology. How much is too much? 5 shocking facts you probably didn't know. We take a look at how screen time affects sleep and performance. You won't believe how much sleep is needed to minimize the risk of health conditions such as heart disease and stroke. Holly trials her new crowdsourced Tinder profile and gets some responses. How did she go? Did she swipe right on any? We find out. And I smash one of the weekly workouts. So let's get into it. So, how much time is too much time for kids to be spending on technology? More so social media. Holly, do you set any limits in your household?
Considering my eldest may be watching, nope. No. The thing is, it's all right in theory. My kids are 16 and 18, so it's slightly different. One of them's at university, so I don't have any kind of say over that. No. And my youngest is currently probably playing Roblox, talking to their friends. So when they were younger, yes, and they didn't really have phones until about aged maybe like 8, I think, but that was to talk to family members, so slightly differently, but they definitely didn't have it going to school and things like that. But I think
Did they have
it's all right.
Did they have their own phones at that age?
Yeah, they did, to keep in touch with family, yeah. So it meant that they could, text and ring and things like that, and
but then I'd some people would think that's quite young, I guess, but I suppose it depends on your family dynamics as well, and where your family are and what have you.
Yeah, it is, because it's sometimes the only way, you can, like, my family doesn't live nearby. Nobody does, so they don't see them.
It's a hard one. I mean, I know, like, for us, our kids were on our phones when they were babies. Just, you're in the supermarket, you've got a phone there while they're watching Peppa Pig or, Thomas the Tank Engine or whatever, was playing on your phone, or just like little puzzle games they can do. So they're exposed to screens at such an early age.
Do you limit your kids on phones and screens and things?
We do, yeah. So more this year than anything else, than any earlier, actually. More due to the fact that there were some issues that my daughter was experiencing through Snapchat, which is the platform most kids are communicating with each other on these days. So we actually they get 1 hour a day. So Monday to Friday they have 1 hour limit on social media. So we've enabled or put some locks on their phones. So after an hour, and it doesn't have to be an hour then and there, they could use 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there, whatever. But once that full hour's been used, certain apps lock, and then they've got to wait till the next day to be able to use it. So those are things like Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, they're not on Facebook, obviously, Roblox, the internet, just so Explorer, Safari, Chrome, whatever they're using to look up things, but they can't install apps themselves. They need permission from us. So it's been a challenge because they bitch and moan about it every day. Can you unlock my phone? I was in the middle of a game or whatever, and then they get a bit more time on the weekends.
Yeah, but you've got to do your streak.
Oh, the streak, the daily streaks, and I always actually wondered what my daughter was doing in the car.
Yeah. I think it's kind of good. I think in moderation it's good. I think when I was a kid I'd be we didn't have phones when I was a kid, so no. I think I was 16 when I got my first phone, so I had all that childhood to like actually work out how to communicate with another human being without being rude and talking to them as if I was typing, which does my head in a little bit. So I think these days, like, kids, they do get them younger and younger, I think, because like mine, to keep in touch with family, or just because everybody else has one, and they have like group chats and things like that, and it's socially kind of how to make friends sometimes at school, but then also you've got to like put them down and actually communicate to people using words and not texting each other when you're stood next to
Absolutely.
the person.
No, that's
That winds me
totally
up. And
agree.
at a table, no, phones away
Oh,
if it's at the kitchen table.
no.
My mum taught me that. She'd be so proud.
I mean, we
Don't have phones at the
we never
kitchen
had,
table.
obviously, same. We never had any device. I think I got my first phone when I was out of school. So I must have been 18 when I got my first phone when I started university because I was driving. And that's when I got my first phone. So my daughter got her phone at the end of primary school last year, only because, going into high school, she'll be using public transport, obviously needs to communicate with her friends. And quite a few of her friends actually already had phones in their last year of primary school. So she just kept the whole, oh, they've got one, why can't I have one? I'm like, no, you can wait, actually. You don't need it. You'll get one when you're ready. And also the thing is, kids don't know how to self-regulate. They don't know when to put it down and walk away and have a break. I mean, it's an extension of their arm. I mean, I'll collect my kids from school on a Wednesday, and we have to go get all their belongings or their makeup bags and all that from their dad's house. And my daughter will not leave her phone in the car. She will walk up the driveway, holding her phone, walking around at home, going to the bathroom. Just it's always in her hand. They can't put it down. And it's an addiction, and it's like you say, they're going to start forgetting how to socially interact with people. And
yeah, I think COVID had a lot to answer for as well, because everything was online. We had Zoom lessons at school. Everything was everything was online because you weren't allowed near each other. And now I think it's kind of become, I don't know whether it would become normal anyway without COVID, but it definitely has become more accessible because, we suddenly had everybody on Zoom. I didn't even know what Zoom was until COVID came along. So I think it's had a lot of like impact, I think more than we think it has actually.
Oh, absolutely. I think,
there's some schools as well where they used to have, like the older years were allowed phones at breaks and lunches. I just can't see now. They used to have phones at breaks and lunches, the older students, and now that some schools have just banned them, they're allowed them maybe in the bottoms of their bags, or they have to put them in lockers or something.
Yeah, my daughter has put hers in lockers.
Yeah, and I think that's good because they cannot use the phone until they leave school. So, and it's suddenly like, it's really interesting because they're actually communicating with each other like normal human beings, because sometimes students in some schools would text each other and they'd be stood next to each other and things, and I'd be like, I don't know, that's kind of, I'm probably guilty of it too. Definitely my daughter is, I'm going to call her out, she like texts me from upstairs.
Oh,
like,
she's not
hi,
the only
Mum.
one.
I'm like,
my daughter does as well.
You're upstairs. Come down the stairs if you want to communicate with me. I'm not replying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
they're
they ring
so lazy.
as well.
They're lazy. I don't know about your kids, but my kids are so lazy.
Yeah.
Just come talk to me face to face, or they'll sort of scream down the stairs. I'm like, I can't hear you. Come talk. Or like you say, they'll call on the phone. I'm like, seriously? It's
Yeah. I'll send you a bill. My eldest sends me like a text message saying like, you owe me this much. I'm like, okay,
no, we haven't got to that point yet. But
just wait.
Oh, look, I mean, like you said, it is hard. Like with the primary school that my daughter's at, they actually start using an iPad in the last 2 years of school. So she goes into grade 5 next year. So grade 5 and grade 6 are the last 2 years. So all the work, a lot of their work is done on iPads. Not all lessons. They have one-on-one time, I think, with the teacher and what have you. But they're using iPads at school already. And I suppose high school, you've got your laptops and all that. So they're always looking at screens. Probably more, I think more, the issue for me is they have just too much mobile screen time. And, it gets closer and closer to their eyes as well. And so they sort of sit and punch over their phones. And I've got to keep correcting posture and all that.
Isn't that where they get that whole zombie shuffle and the zombie stare
from? It's
And then they don't become aware of the world around them. So people,
oh no,
I'm probably guilty of it too. Walking along the street on my phone because
absolutely.
having to reply to all my hundreds of fans and whatnot,
And
and
your
then
Tinders,
I'm
your
like,
Tinder swipes.
Thousands.
yeah, that's thousands. I just have to. Oh my god, it takes up all my time. But anyways, if I'm not doing that, I'm signing autographs. So But yeah, walking along the street and like looking at my phone and like not taking in the surrounding views and whatnot, like just your normal surroundings and
But
things, and then
And it's dangerous as well. Like when I drop my daughter off to go to school, I don't drop her off in the school car park because that's just an absolute nightmare trying to get in and out of. So I drop her off just nearby at the little shopping center, and phone hand, and she glances to her side as she's crossing the pedestrian crossing. It's a nightmare, and there's some scary facts that I was reading about the other day, that I didn't even know about. I mean, I was reading them out to Nathan, and he was really shocked. Like, tweens spend less time outside than prisoners, according to some research that I read. So that's less than 1 hour a day. So I'm going to assume that they're taking it from when they come home from school. So obviously when you're at school, they're outside and they're out on their lunch breaks or whatever. So obviously they're outside, but
yeah, PE
probably on a
lessons
device
and stuff.
But
Yeah,
kids spend twice as long playing on screens as they do playing outside. 1 in 5 kids don't play outside at all on a typical day. So some of these facts: 2 in 3 parents say their kids spend less time outside than they did as children. And I certainly spent way more time outside than my kids do.
yeah. Well, there was nothing to do inside because we didn't have phones and the internet and stuff. So I guess it was like you had to come in when the streetlights came on. That was
absolutely, yeah.
That
you
was
didn't
the
look at a
goal.
watch.
Yeah, and you knew where your you knew where your friends were because you'd look for all their bikes outside of your mate's house.
And the noise.
Like, oh, that's where my mates are. Yeah. But these days, I think there's just more to do inside, and I don't know if it's doing them any good or any damage. Like it's
Of being inside.
yeah, I don't know whether it's how much damage. If it is doing them any damage, I don't know.
Well, it's a hard one, I guess. If they're being active during the day and are doing other sports and what have you, and other things other than being on a phone, then I guess spending time on a device isn't that bad. But if they don't have that balance, I think that's where things can go wrong. Not go wrong, but I guess.
It can go wrong. Yeah.
I just think it's so important.
So they have to have the balance. They have to be outside.
Well, that's the
and
thing.
Doing active things as well as computer games.
And
it's hard to juggle it all, isn't it? Right.
Oh, absolutely. And just some of the other little facts that I found were 1 in 4 kids think video games are exercise. So they think by playing a sports game, they're exercising, even though they're sitting down on their bums. They're not moving. Although I guess...
have you heard of this thing called Zwift, actually? Because that's pretty good. I don't know. I don't think it'll ever take off, though. But
I did try and get my daughter on it. I'm going to keep trying to get her on my bike. She's jumped on once or twice.
Yeah, my daughter has tried it.
That's
right.
When
she realizes that she could actually do quite well, and she's very much like me, but just a mini version of me. I think she's awesome. Of course, she's awesome. She's my daughter. So yeah.
Yeah, I think my youngest would be like that, but her legs are too short to reach the pedals.
Oh no, she's got to grow a little bit.
She is quite short.
My eldest she's not too bad, but I don't think she's as she's not the athletic one of the two. So I think we'll have to wait a few more years before my little one can touch the pedals.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
And another fact that I sort of read was that 6 in 10 kids don't get enough sleep. So they're on their devices all day and just can't switch off.
You can't self-regulate. And
no, and that's the thing. That's what worries me is, I mean, even as adults, we probably don't set the best example because we're always on our phones. We're sitting watching a movie, we're on our phones. And personally, I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort of putting my phone somewhere where I can't easily reach, especially when I'm cooking dinner. So that if my kids, if they do come into the kitchen and want to talk to you, you're not watching your phone. You're there, you're present, you're engaging with them. Because I know sometimes they'll say, "Oh, you're always on your phone. You never, you never listen." And maybe it is true. And I think we need to make changes ourselves for them to sort of notice and see that we're making the effort, I guess, and see that it is normal to not always be on your phone. It's
yeah, and to put your phone away and be like, yeah. I think my eldest, I used to say, put your phone outside your room, much to their disapproval. I'm pretty sure in the middle of the night they will probably get up and get it back from outside the room because it had the alarm on it.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that is the thing. That I think self-regulation, because that would affect them at school and doing their hobbies and things like that if they can't self-regulate. And also, it's okay to be bored. You can be bored.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Good for you. Like it does. Like then because you something to do with brain neural pathways, something like that. I don't know what it does, but like it's good to have boredom sometimes in your life. Cause,
totally.
Yeah.
So, can I ask a question? Sure. What do you guys think about restricting kids from accessing social media until they turn 16?
Yeah, is this a law now in America? I think
it's a law that we're trying to get passed here in Australia. Yeah,
we're trying to get it in. Yeah, they're busy working on it at the moment. So hopefully, in the next couple of months, it'll be. Well, I don't actually know how soon. Hopefully.
I think that kids are very savvy, far more tech savvy than me. Let's face it. And I think they'll find ways around it because I think even in this country you're not allowed Facebook until you're 14. I think I could be wrong, but some of the age 10 because you just input a different date of birth. So I think the kids will find a way around it. Yeah, and figure out a way to get these apps and things, or they'll find other apps to interact on, and it's just. I think they're fighting a losing battle. It'd be interesting to see, actually, how it plays out.
Yeah, no, I said to Nathan, it'd be interesting to see how they're going to police that. Like, would the parents have to sign up and put in their driver's license or their ID number or something just to prove their date of birth? I mean, you think there's got to be some sort of form of identification, passport number. So that
but
they
then people
can
have
police
passports
it.
There wasn't anything age 16.
Aside from that, though, do you think it's worthwhile to try and
give it a go?
Restrict kids.
Absolutely. The pressure that kids feel from social media and all these influences that are online. I mean, I see it through my daughters and the need to have big eyelashes and the nails and to look a certain way
the fake tan and because they see it on TikTok or whatever and they're like and all of this new language that they came up with this skippity whatever the heck that is. I don't know. I like, Miss, are you Sigma? And I'm like, I don't know whether I should be telling you off or say thanks. I
don't even know what half of them.
I don't know
what it means.
Turns out it's a good thing.
Oh
well, no, because I'm nice. I'm a cool teacher.
So how does it feel then?
Sigma's good.
How does it feel then when you remove devices from your kids? Like, as a parent, what is it that, if you remove the device and they get upset about you, how do you feel about that?
I feel guilty for a very short period.
How short a period?
A couple of minutes. But, they've got books. They've got books to read. Like, my youngest is so creative in when she plays games. So playing with dolls or pretending they're school teachers, and they both, my 13 and 10-year-old, will play it together. So one of them will be a teacher, one of them will be the student. They've got the whiteboard, they've got the books. It's actually really endearing watching them play and using their imagination. So when they're really forced to use their imaginations because they're not allowed a device, it's great. I get a lot of eye rolls and side eyes and a bit of moaning, but they actually end up having a good time.
Well, can I ask then? I'm going to ask another question here. Who's to blame for the kids having the devices in the first place? Because
Us.
Damo at ZMSC
I'm also reading
Studio.
the comments too. Yeah.
So you guys are at fault, or
he does make
or is it a society thing?
It's
it's the pressure. Like mine had them to keep in touch with family, which I think was important. But of course, it does lead on to other things. So
it does. No, absolutely. Like so the main form of communication or app that kids communicate through for my daughter is Snapchat. So when we introduced the 1 hour limit and the phone would go off, she goes, right, well, now I can't organize my catch up with so-and-so next weekend, or now I don't know what's going on. I'm like, well, call them, because it's the social media apps that get locked, but they can still text like a normal person and actually phone the phone number and talk on the phone or FaceTime them, so they can still communicate with their friends. Haven't stopped that at all. But because kids only use Snapchat, they feel isolated, and then they get bullied. They get made fun of because they don't have social media to communicate through.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because everybody else does.
So I've said to them, I've said to her, why don't you call her? Pick up the phone and call her. I don't have her number. I'm like, well, get it. And she's like, Mom, no one has a phone. No one uses their phone numbers. So there's that.
That's true, actually.
That's another
I don't
element
have your
to it.
Number. It's
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anyone's. I only know my number. I don't even know your number off by heart.
No.
I think that's a really good observation, though, that your daughter made, which is that our generations are changing in terms of what we found acceptable. So writing someone a letter back in my parents' day was, completely acceptable. When was the last time we wrote a letter? When was the last time we signed a check?
Yeah,
We don't either. That's the thing. I mean, like you said, I'm quite old school, so I like making notes. So even at work, I don't pop it into notes or a document on my laptop. I write. I like writing and writing to-do lists. I don't put it into my phone. I like ticking it off. It's the satisfaction of putting a line through it and ticking it off, or just. I'm old school. Maybe showing my age a bit. I don't know. But
we actually wrote at school. We actually wrote letters with the year 7 class, so they're aged 11, 12-year-olds, and we actually wrote letters. It took a few lessons, but we taught them how to write a letter. Where the address goes and all that sort of thing. And we wrote to local companies something that they were interested in. So, say for example, I don't know, a football stadium off the top of my head. And we actually sent them, and some of them got replies and things like, a couple of freebies or whatever. But it was so cool because suddenly they were like, oh, we're sending a letter. Like, are we actually doing it for real? And we were like, yeah, like, you might not get a reply, but you may get a reply. And then the kids saw that they would get replies. And it was such a cool thing to do because people don't write letters these days.
Oh, no.
Or write, say like birthday cards and Christmas cards. You write happy birthday on Facebook on their wall or whatever.
We don't send
like,
Christmas cards or birthday cards anymore.
Yeah. By the way,
stopped
I would be appreciative of any birthday cards because my birthday's coming up soon. Just FYI for all my lovely, adoring fans out there.
What date's that birthday again?
18th of December.
And how old are you turning?
Of course, I'm turning 21.
Me too. I'm turning 21 a few weeks before you.
Oh yeah, you are. Yes, all the best people are born in December.
They're the Sagittarians,
right? Yeah, quite right. We are. Yeah. So
bunch of crazies. That's
so now we've put the world to rights with That's right. Yep. So now we've put the world to rights with technology and kids. It's a massive. I think people have got to do what's right for themselves as well, and just be like super conscious that.
Well, that's it. Everyone's got their own.
It can affect self-regulation. If you're struggling to self-regulate, maybe think about devices and things, and because it can also affect sleep as well. So if you're like on your device late at night, scrolling through Facebook and Discord, and let's face it, we all do it.
Tinder.
I do it. Netflix and that's a, oh my god. That's a whole other world.
Tinder's a whole different ball game. But
isn't it?
the mindless scrolling and we're guilty of it. I mean, when we drive to work in the morning, one of us, whoever isn't driving, will be sitting on their phone, scrolling away, just looking at what everyone's up to, and we're guilty of it. And but I think the sleep thing, it's an issue. I certainly I don't get enough sleep, that I do know, but
no. See, I've looked into this. I've actually looked into something. Imagine that. And apparently you're supposed to come off like phones and devices and screens and everything 2 hours before you go to sleep. Well, I definitely do not do that, because like sometimes I'm like, wake up in the morning and I'm like, where's my phone? It's like lost under my pillow or in my duvet or on the floor or something. Or, you know, like, and you drop it on your face because you're like, holding it up on your head. You know, everybody knows. You've all done
Everyone's been there.
Don't deny it.
We've all done that.
Yeah. So,
but no, I think it's a bit of a science, I think, with the whole with sleep, because is it blue light? It's
yes, blue light. Yeah,
the blue light. Yeah,
no, it's
so
not blue, it's white light. But anyway, it's called blue light. Something to do with the science.
So yeah, with that blue light, it's got something to do with your circadian rhythm. So you don't.
That's right. Yeah.
You struggle to. The blue light suppresses the melatonin, which is what you need to fall asleep. So you're exposing yourself to that right up until you put your head down on the pillow. You know, so you struggle to fall asleep, and also if you fall asleep quickly, you're not going to have a solid night's sleep. I think you well, that's, I would assume. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because you need to go into like REM sleep and all the different.
Yeah.
If you have like a fancy watch, it'll actually like track your sleep, and how deep you sleep and things like that, like during the night. Although sometimes at night time I take it off because it rubs and causes a rash. But anyways, that's another story.
And when you say fancy watch, are you talking like an Apple Watch or something?
Yeah, like one of those Garmin watches and things. You know,
Not
that
an
tracks
Apple
your
Watch?
heart rate and things. Yeah, I think Apple Watch does it as well.
Yeah, no, I've got the hint. You're getting it for Christmas. It's okay, relax.
So
or for birthday.
It's my birthday request.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
So Sharon really needs a fancy watch. And,
Yes. We'll
track my sleep, of course.
Of course.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, to track things.
But
like throw it off.
Me personally, I need at least 8 or 9 hours sleep. Otherwise, I'm an absolute mess.
Yeah. Well, this morning I fell back asleep because I woke up and I was supposed to come chat with you, and then I didn't because I fell asleep. So I must during the week I must need to.
You're on your phone too much. You're not getting a proper night's sleep.
Yeah, and I think you need to read a book or do some meditation or go on one of those YouTube things and listen to But reading a book, I used to read.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but actually reading the book, like with pages.
I would love to do that.
Not a device book.
No.
Like actual.
And I've actually got a book on on the headboard next to where I sleep, and it's just sitting there looking pretty.
What's it called?
Can't remember.
That's it. Put her on the spot.
It's a Danielle Steele romance that I do know. I can't remember which one though.
Okay. Sure. Yep.
10 steps on how to fall asleep. That's what it's called.
You've got to like page 1.
And then you fell asleep. It worked a charm.
Yeah. Oh, she could just talk to you, Nathan, and she'd fall asleep because, you know.
That was my joke earlier on.
No, well, I've used it back on you.
I don't have the time. I find I just don't have time to. I'd love to get into bed at 9 o'clock when I'm making the kids go to bed, and I'd love to do that. But once they're in bed, that's when you do all your chores or you catch up on loads of washing or just prep for the next day. So before you know it, it's 10 or 10:30, and then it's bedtime. And
yeah.
I don't get enough sleep because you got to be up early the next day for work. It's
Yeah.
it's all about that
You
balance.
are right about the daylight though, because it what is it? The circadian rhythm. So when it goes dark, your body is meant to be going to sleep, but obviously you can't go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is what time it gets dark currently in the Democratic Republic of Yorkshire. 4 o'clock, it's mental, and it doesn't get light until about 8 a.m. So you got 8 till 4. So I'm at work during those hours. So I'm not
I
going to
remember
go
that
to
in
sleep.
London. Horrible.
It's
It's
I mean, you kind of get
depressing.
used to it, but yeah. But that is why what is it? Seasonal affective disorder. Like, it's a real thing. Like, because people, it's dark, and you're like, oh, in your head, I don't know I'm using a lot of science today, but anyways, I'm gonna go with it. It's it's a lot of science to do with, because you can't fall asleep at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. You've got like a few hours because you've got to eat and whatnot.
Oh, I could fall asleep at 4 p.m.
I think depression is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Than in summer, because in summer everyone is in a good mood because it's daylight and the sunlight, it absorbs blah blah blah. I don't know all the stuff, but like the sunlight makes you awake.
Well, the sun. You get.
I'm not a science teacher.
No, but most of your blue light exposure is from the sun.
Yes, so that's where I was going with that. Yes, because blue light exposure, so it makes you feel awake and things.
It makes you feel alert, yeah. Elevates your body temperature and your heart rate.
Yeah, elevates your heart rate. The sun does. Okay.
That's what it says.
But there's also some studies have been done, and Holly, you were saying the same thing about the fact that, especially in northern European countries and in the US, where people will often go to get up in the dark, then go into an office environment where it's white light, and they leave in the dark. And so I think it'd be very similar kinds of issues to staring at your phone all the time.
And then you get to nighttime and you're still on your phone and it's trying to keep you awake, but your body is saying it's dark, it's nighttime. So it's like conflict.
But your mind is like, no, I need to see what so and so is doing. Oh, look at that! That's a recipe or a. Oh, rabbits.
Oh, there's a rabbit. I was going to say, yeah, there's a rabbit.
Squirrels.
Nathan, look, a rabbit video.
A rabbit video. Tell us more, Sharon. Tell us more about these rabbit videos.
Oh, no. Well, we send each other.
Not those rabbits.
Not those rabbits.
Oh, you send each other rabbits?
They can be those rabbits.
Video. Cute, furry little rabbits, man.
Oh. What about the
Difficult
squirrels?
to clean.
Let's talk about the squirrels.
A rabbit video. Cute little bunny rabbits. We have 2, so Nathan sends me videos of cute rabbits. He's just encouraging me to want to buy more.
No, I only do that
more
to
rabbits.
make you happy. Usually I've done something wrong or bad. Or I'm in trouble.
Also, you cannot. I'm just reading the comments. You cannot get somebody's. If you have a birthday in December, do not get them birthday and Christmas present as one. Because I saw that wherever he put it. Brett.
Birthday and Christmas all together.
No.
You can't do that. It's not allowed.
Gets tricky though. I mean, the closer your birthday is to Christmas.
It's not tricky. You need it separate. It's not happy birthday. Here's a Christmas present as well as a happy birthday present. No.
That's just being tight.
My mum didn't used to put up the... Yeah, my mum put up the Christmas tree the day after my birthday when I was a kid, but now she puts it up like earlier. It's probably already up.
I normally, I'll always put it
up.
I put it up the weekend of my birthday normally, but I've been allowed to put it up early this year.
Yeah, well, if it's your choice, then that's fine. But as a kid, I was always like, cause, I mean, I could have been called like something worse than Holly, all right? So. But
Mistletoe, Misty. You could have been called Misty. Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. So story time with Holly. So when I was a kid, my name's still Holly, but it was spelt with a Y, Holly. That's like on my birth certificate. But when I was about 8, I thought I'm going to change it to IE because then I won't be associated with Christmas, right? So, yeah, that's not going very well for me, to be honest. But in my 8-year-old brain, it made sense. Anyway, that's the end of my story.
Hold up. So you specifically renamed yourself just so your name wouldn't be associated with Christmas.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant idea. But yeah, I could have been called Mistletoe or like, I don't know what other, Ivy or something. And also, here's another story.
Ivy,
for
you could have been called Ivy. There we go.
Yeah. Well, when I was about, I don't know, you know when you have like jobs as a teenager. When I was about 17, I worked in this shop, and I convinced my boss that I had a twin called Ivy, and she believed me for like years that I had this twin called Ivy. Again, that's the end of my story. Thanks for coming.
I think she's just nodding.
Join in
next
whatever. Join in next week for more story times with Hollie.
Whatever, Christmas girl.
That's it, yeah. I could have been called Christmas. Anyways, so
Christy.
yeah. So basically, don't get people Christmas and birthday presents. So but Sharon wants 2 different presents. She wants a watch, a fancy watch, ones that track your sleep, and a new bike, please.
Activities.
That'd be lovely.
Oh, on your bike.
Wait, hang on.
Parent.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have we talked about new bikes?
No?
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you now. That's what she wants.
That would mean you'd have to ride outside.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't do that.
Pick a bike. You don't ride outside. No,
yeah.
Because I've seen the streets of Melbourne. No, I quite agree. Don't ride outside. It's dangerous out there.
Oh, you have seen the streets in Melbourne. That's right. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan went out on the road the other day and nearly had a couple of near misses, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a couple of probably about 4 or 5 what they call punishment passes, and that's where cars deliberately either don't share your lane you're in or drive near you than they should.
Punishment passes.
Yeah, because my bike rider.
Is this in your book that's on your?
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So punishment passes where they basically drive deliberately closer to you to scare you or to to intimidate you, a bike ride on the road. So,
for goodness sake, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's
You're
good
a human
fun.
being.
I love it, especially with there's like
that's
a
a
truck.
whole other podcast, isn't it?
What do you call in Yorkshire? So you've got like utility vehicles.
Yorkshire, not Yorkshire. Yorkshire.
You've got utility vehicles that have got like a cab at the front and a tray at the back. What do you call those?
A lorry.
Okay, lorry. Right, so we call them utes. Pretty much here in Australia, or trucks. Perhaps.
What? A ute?
A utility ute. And quite often tradies, so guys, tradesmen who do carpentry or plumbing or whatever, will have a trailer on the back, and quite often they'll have, they'll come past you. So you see the car coming past you, and then what you don't realise is there's another whole car behind it. It is a trailer, and that sort of swings in as well, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a bit of fun. Anyway, sorry, going off on a tangent.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll pick up. So Brent said
we never do that.
I'll pick up. Okay.
Yeah, pickup truck. Oh, by the way,
pickup.
Shout out to
truck.
Yeah, pickup truck, like a lorry, but yeah, you got a flatbed, and then I'll see if I can find a pic. We'll just talk about lorries and utes for a second. But shout out to Bren in the chat. Thank you, Bren. And Damo there as well.
Damo's there, yeah.
And Road Rally Racing, he was in there as well. We saw that. So thank you very much.
We don't want to assume Rally's gender, apparently, because we don't know. It's been a thing. They're from Yorkshire, but
and that's all we know, isn't it?
That is all we know. Yeah, it's a mystery. So, yeah.
So I tried out a workout this week. So I'm trying to get back on my Zwift workout. So the Zwift have done I think it's Zwift Camp Baseline is the series of workouts. I think there's 8 workouts in the series, and I think it runs until January. So there's plenty of time to do all the workouts. So I did try it I tried it the other day, but I did it when I came home from work. Was it when I came? Well, or in the evening. Anyway, it might have been a Thursday, and I had to quit it. It was actually just too hard. I just didn't have any power or energy. I got through sort of 20 minutes of it, or 20, not quite 25 minutes, and then I quit. So wasn't happy with myself. So then Nathan said, well, let's give it another go, and I'll do it with you. So he did it with me. We finished it. We died, but we finished it. And
yes, good.
I think we might have a snippet of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
so
do.
It's they call it the sprint booster. I think it was called.
It's just 80 seconds.
80 seconds.
Yeah.
So we've just obviously it's a 55-minute workout. So we narrowed it down just to the sprints, which came around very quickly and lasted very long.
Yeah.
So we're looking at sprint number 6 out of 8 sprints.
Look at the focus. Yes, go on, Sharon. I don't know who that dude is with you, but you're doing awesome, Sharon.
And what I made the mistake of one of the sprints, my cadence wasn't going fast enough, so
That's pretty cool.
my wheels
Do you see
locked, and I just
Spiral of
couldn't
death.
pedal through. It was like.
That's it. Spiral of
Yeah.
death. That's what I was trying to think of.
Spiral of death. Yeah, yeah.
What, when you
Because you
don't
just
spin?
can't push the
Yeah, I just
which
wasn't.
wouldn't actually happen in a race because you change gears. But yeah, it's tough when you
But with a
get
workout,
your
your
cadence up.
erg, you should have your erg. Well, it's better to have your erg mode on in a workout. I actually did have to turn it off for some of the sprints because I couldn't hit the sprint. It was just too hard. And
No,
we had
but
a
that's all right.
We had a 36 degree day when we did it. So we did it at about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, and it was 35 degrees. So it was hot.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely hot.
They are not easy sprints. Oh my gosh, and you've got another one coming up. Gee, how much break did you have in between the sprints?
So there was a 3-minute ramp up and then 20-second sprints. But they were,
Okay.
yeah, we were pushing it.
Yeah, I'm flipping at 560 watts. Go on.
And the funny thing is
Yes.
when you look at a workout, you think, oh, 20 seconds, yeah, and there's a 3-minute, there's 3 minutes between each sprint. You think that's easy, that you can do that. But
No, it builds up.
once you start
Yeah.
it. And the thing is, that 3-minute ramp up feels like it's a minute. The 20-second sprint feels like it's 5 minutes. You know, it's just like
Yeah. It doesn't time, it works weirdly, right? It's
just like, can this sprint end already? Or where did that recovery time go? It's, oh my God. But I was proud of myself for finishing it and not quitting it or vomiting, because I did feel like I was going to vomit at one point, because I am, I don't think, I hadn't eaten properly. We hadn't really eaten much.
We did have an agreement that the first one to vomit
Lost.
lost.
So obviously couldn't lose.
Lovely.
But no, we did it. So we'll definitely try and do another one, I think, next week, and see how that goes. But it was good getting back into the workouts, because I used to love them. I used to do at least one a day during lockdown, and became obsessed with the workouts, trying different ones. And they're really, seriously, Zwift is awesome. If you don't have Zwift, find yourself a trainer, a cheap bike with gears, and it is the most awesome workout.
Give us a 20-second, if you had to tell someone in an elevator what Zwift is about, give us a 20-second elevator pitch, Sharon.
Oh, thanks. See, I don't like being put on the spot. Talk to you about this later, okay?
I put my hand up. I'll do it.
Holly's got a hand up. We'll go to Holly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you're pedaling on a bike. It's stationary, a bit like spin bikes in a gym. And then you move, the power from your bike moves the avatar on the screen. And there's lots of other avatars on the screen too, who are also cycling from anywhere in the world. And when you go up a hill, the resistance increases. When you go down the hill, the resistance decreases. That's about 20 seconds, I think. Yep. How was that? Max out of 10.
Thank you. Phew.
Thanks.
Thank
Yeah, it's
me.
almost like I've been practicing, like people have been asking me what it is.
Oh, you're an elite racer now, so you need to have your
You get a gold star.
feel. But no, it's awesome. I love Zwift, and
Also, My Wish, because you did My Wish on the weekend as well.
oh, that's right. Yes.
Oh, sorry, not My Wish, the Zwift qualifiers.
on my wish.
Did,
So
well, I did do my wish. Oh my god, I did my wish. Oh yes, I forgot all about that. So I did my wish Sunday Race Club, and I came second, and it was epic, and I was so proud of myself. Woohoo! And then I did a Swift World Series Elite Qualifiers, which you had to get top 19. So I got some stuff to say about this, right? You don't have to be an elite cyclist to listen to this stuff that I'm going to say, right? Because so you have to be the top 19 to qualify to go through, if you like. I knew going into it that I would not be realistically the top 19 unless something drastically happened to the others, and then I still wouldn't want to go through like that anyway. So went into this race knowing I would get dropped at some point, and really there was a hill 1.7 kilometers into this 54 kilometer route, and I was so sure that I would get dropped on that first climb. Even that the race notes that we had, I didn't pay attention to anything that was after this first climb, because I thought that's where my aim is. My goal is to make it up that hill, thinking I probably realistically wouldn't. So I started off the race, and then I made it up the hill somehow. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like I felt like elated because I'd actually hit my target of the goal of that race.
well done. That's awesome.
And then it came another, so I was like, oh my gosh, like saying to my teammates, I have to shout out to Randy and Leah, you ladies are outstanding, thank you so much. Then we hit, so the bit of flat, and then we hit another hill, and then I did get dropped on that alongside two other ladies. So myself and this lady called Sarah were fighting to helping each other get back and close the gap. I think the gap was about 11 seconds possibly. I don't know. It was broadcast on Zwift. You can go back and watch it if you want. So we closed the gap, and I knew Sarah, and hopefully she knew we were trying to, from other teams, but at that point you become like this part of the same team if you're in that position. So we're pulling each other back, and we closed the gap. And then another hill hit, and I got dropped on my own this time. And there was like a 22-second gap, and oh my god, I thought this was honestly, it was just brilliant, because I just fought so hard. I thought I'm gonna keep fighting, and the gap was coming down and down and down, and then I actually closed that gap, and I felt like I'd just won the entire race, getting back to the group, because I knew another climb would hit, and I knew at that point I would be gone. But like just closing that gap, like on my own, giving it everything that I had, and when I got back in the group, I just died 1,000 deaths doing that, and I was just so So I just smashed the goal of like not getting dropped on the first climb, and then closed the gap twice.
It's an amazing feeling.
I just loved it. Yeah.
When you push yourself
you can do
like
that in other races too. You can make your own little goals if you know that, like, you know, you're not necessarily, if you're realistic and you know you're not going to do very well in a race, you can make your own little goals and be like, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it to the first sprint, or make it out the pen, or make it to the first climb, whatever it is. Like, you can do that. And like, honestly, I felt like I'd won the race, like, and I got a 3-minute PB, and I had the highest 5-minute and 20-minute raw watts.
Wow.
Out of everybody in that race.
And there are some really well-known names in that race, aren't there?
Well known. There's Kate McCarthy. She's the world champion. It doesn't get
It can get better than that. That's awesome. It's And that's the great thing about Zwift. I during lockdown, I was doing some group rides, and there's a Paralympian, he's Canadian, Tristan Chernov. I've done workouts with him. I've done a couple of rides with a well-known South African rugby player. He was on Zwift, and when you're working out with big names that are known, it's a pretty awesome feeling.
Yeah. And to get to race with, group ride, not just races, but there's group rides and things like that. That's what I love about esports, is because we get to race or ride, against, the world champion and elite races and things. Because you can play, like, say, tennis. You're never going to play against what's his name? Tim.
Andy Murray?
I don't know. Andy Murray, yeah. Andy Murray, that's the one. Andy Murray, yeah. You're never going to play against Andy Murray or any of the, world-class tennis players, just for example. Or you're never going to play for Manchester United and, score goals and stuff. Well, you might, but I mean, it's not very likely. Yeah, you might, yeah. But, when you're playing like in your Sunday League and stuff, you're not going to have like a Sunday League team versus Manchester United, for example. But like in esports, you really can ride or race against, these people who are top of the whatever the word is. I don't know. I'm not feeling great, but yeah.
Tree.
Top of the tree. That'll do. Yep. And and I love it. And I had so many messages after that race. I didn't actually care what position I came, and then because then I was fan viewing my teammates to encourage them, and Leah, she got through. She got 19th, and you needed 19 or higher, and she absolutely gave it her all. And so proud of her. And Randy, it was just such great camaraderie, and I loved it. And
the camaraderie is awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, and the messages afterwards, there was a lot. It may not have been on the broadcast of me closing that gap, but people noticed that I didn't really expect people to notice, because why would they? Because I'm not up there. So, but yeah, I massively appreciate all the support and stuff. So
that's so fantastic.
Yeah,
I've got a question. Can I ask a question? I think this
if you want to.
plays into the motivation. So each week, and I know you've spoken about this as well in the past, but each week turning up to a race like that and knowing in some cases that you're just not going to get the result that you would, ideally you'd hope for. What's that mental process like each week, trying to build yourself up to get back into it and know that you're going to get smashed and you'll get dropped and it won't be the result you'd hope for?
Well, this is where you reach out to. I couldn't be there if it wasn't for the friends and the support, because including my colleagues at work and my kids and all my friends on Discord and my team and the people in Dirt. I rely on them, really, because honestly, otherwise I wouldn't show up, because I'd just be like, what am I doing? Why am I even there? But they're like, no, go kick ass, do what you can do and stuff, and it gives me motivation, because I am getting better and I am improving. So I've got goals and stuff, and I've got to be there
helps being
for
part of a
my
team.
team. So
yeah, because then you feel obligated to pitch up, to show up and try your best.
Absolutely.
So what's the one thing you could advise someone who doesn't have that motivation and they're sort of slowly not turning up to races anymore or doing those events? What's one thing you could say to them to, get them reinvigorated?
Yeah. Well, not just elite events, any events, Cat
events.
D right up to elite. It can be it can be running, anything. I'd just say, reach out to your friends and tell them how you're feeling, and say to them, oh my God, I'm just feeling like I'm doomed on this race or whatever it is, and just tell them how you're feeling, because you can guarantee that they've been in the same position and they've been feeling the same thing, and they will help you and show up, because you never know how a race is going to go. I thought I'd get dropped on the first climb and I'd have 54 kilometres of a lovely ITT, but it didn't go like that at all. And honestly, I didn't think.
Did you just say 55 kilometres?
Yeah, 54. But yeah,
that's how long the race was.
Yeah, and there was a climb at 1.7k in, and I was sure that I would get dropped on the first climb, but I still
55,
showed up, and it didn't go incredible. Like that. I've stayed on up the first climb. You should have heard me on Discord. Honestly, I've got to stream it, because it was just I was like, what do I do now? yeah, and I was just totally shocked about myself. So it's surprising what you can do. Races don't always turn out how you think they're gonna turn out, but I massively appreciate everyone who helps and is
well done. It was an amazing effort.
To So in between racing on Zwift, I've joined Tinder for my sins. This was entertaining.
That's very
And-
So I think
entertaining.
I'm just
and was
doomed
it-
to be a nun, to be quite
Was your
honest.
profile what we put together for you, or have you changed it?
Yes, but it was translated into Yorkshire speak, but it was what
Did we
you
get to see
guys
that?
did.
Okay.
It's on the Discord server. If anybody listening wants to see the Yorkshire translation, it's on the Discord server. Please join, and you can have a little look. And the link is in the description below. I hope. Yeah, I think, is it in the description below? I don't know. Yeah, it's in the description below. Right,
Is it?
cool.
Where is it?
Yeah, so go on our Discord server and you can see the Yorkshire translation. So yeah, so I joined Tinder and like,
When's your first date?
it
Any?
no, I'm far too busy on an inwardtopia. But yeah, there's nobody that I want to go on a date with on Tinder at the moment.
But this is the perfect time. You're coming into Christmas and New Year. You know, Christmas parties and New Year party. You know, it's the season.
Yeah, I could get like a new bike off someone or something because birthday. I'd be quite happy if I got a new bike for a joint Christmas and birthday present. That'd be the exception. But apart from that, no. Yeah.
And so I think you got some.
There was some messages
screenshots,
and some pictures and stuff. Yep. So let's fire away with those. Yep. I can't read that because my stupid glasses are not.
Can't read it either.
What did he say?
Very little.
I'll pretend to be the Tinder guy.
Oh
So-
God.
MX40, wanting to explore your boundaries, try new things. Tell me what you want. Married, and I'm playing on your side. He's married. I'm looking for
Yeah, married.
a bit of kink, no vanilla. What is it with married guys on these things?
There's website or
I
there's
mean-
dating apps and apps for these sorts of things.
Ashley
Seriously.
Madison?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, each to their own, but I just think, does his wife know that he's on Tinder? Probably not. If people want to
Of
be in an
course
open
not.
relationship, then that's up to them. But I can't help but think that he is just actively cheating on his wife, who probably thinks that she's happily
So there was
married
no
and stuff.
So there was no picture there. Have you removed the
No.
picture, or there was just no picture?
No, there was no picture. It was just
Well, because then he'd be easily identifiable to anyone
Oh no,
else.
I know. Oh yeah, I suppose.
yeah.
It depends
So
on the
this
pictures
guy,
of
this
the
guy
dog.
was amusing because he's on a bike. He just needs like a little Zwift screen in front of his. Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out how do you use that? Is it one of those little park exercise things that you see around the place?
I think so. I don't really know where that is.
Hard to see.
Or what you do with it?
Yeah, what you do with it? Yeah.
All right, so I'll read this one
And,
out,
yeah,
okay?
he's missing the whole Zwift. Yeah, just needs a little
not wearing
Zwift
lycra.
squeeze going on there.
He is French,
That's
so I'll
true.
try
Yeah,
and put on a
cycling
bit
in
of a-
jeans, man. There's so much wrong with that. Living in Belfast.
Where's his helmet?
That's not Yorkshire.
So
Speaks German too. Wonderful.
he's a
Good crack. He spelt crack right.
I am a
which is
French
good
guy
sign.
living in Belfast. A while and looking to meet cool people. Speaking German too. Big heart. Good crack. I'm assuming crack
Yeah.
means he's a joker, like good humor. And
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah,
browse in
yeah.
other countries as I might want to move out into the future. Well,
So he's after a green card in some country. Jesus. Wonderful. He's not coming to Democratic Republic of Yorkshire, so he's banned. He's on the blacklist from Yorkshire. Okay.
all right.
Next.
So obviously not good looking enough that you considered talking to him.
Well, I
Oh,
was.
Crack is the Irish word for fun, from Bren.
Yeah, and often people spell it wrong, but he spelled it right. So go on then.
All right. This
Read
is
out this one then.
I couldn't understand this one. Not my child, just an uncle. Born at a very young age. As a child, I got a nosebleed whilst holding a snake at a party, causing absolute pandemonium. I like to geek out on random things.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But the
can
issue
I-
with this one is, go on, yep.
No, I was going to say, what's going through a guy's head that he feels that's his best opening line that he can put out on a Tinder profile?
Not my kid.
Just an uncle.
One of his other photos had a kid in it. Well, obviously I'm not going to show that on here, obviously, because it's a kid. But the main issue here is Peloton in the background.
Bren's noticed that as well.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing the Hollie picked up on.
Yeah. Also, I need to charge my phone. 19%. I suppose no one else picked up on that. But yeah. So it's going well, Tinder.
So you're getting lots of great responses, really good quality.
Any decent ones at all, or you just haven't spent the time to doom scroll on Tinder?
Well, this week's been kind of busy with the whole, elite race. It does take up a lot of, and I have this job that I got to go to every day as well and stuff. But yeah, so they're the
to pay for your Zwifting.
Yeah, to pay for my Zwifting. Yeah, thanks, Swoosh. Yeah. So was that all of the? I can't remember. Was that all the screenshots?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So that's how that's going, folks. So
and then that brings me back to the scrolling. I remember when because I think I mentioned Nathan and I met on Tinder. So when I was on Tinder, I would spend a lot of time swiping, or scrolling. Maybe not swiping, but a lot of lefts, and there'd be the accidental right swipes, and then they'd message within seconds. They message within seconds, swipe, right? And you're like, oh.
Oh wait, the truth's coming out now.
They used. I don't know if Tinder still has pre-written replies. You can just select when someone messages you.
Yeah, but they're just emojis. So.
Oh God. Okay, no, these are actual sentences. So I would have to sort of select the closest one. Like, oops.
Was there one there for accidental? Sorry, I didn't mean that.
What was your first message? You know, I'm gonna ask that, right?
What, to each other?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And how many times did you? Yeah, let's go with that first. Let's have a little question and answer thing going on here.
Yeah, well, I think.
What was the first message?
Nathan messaged me and just asked me a whole bunch of questions. Sort of, if you want this, press 1. If you want this, press 2. If you want, if you like this, press 3. It was multiple choice almost, but I think I replied by going 1, 2, 3, 4. I sort of selected all the options he'd given me.
Yeah, you're not meant to do that. That just completely went against the whole principle of the first message.
It worked, didn't it?
Because now I'm trying to think of something funny that included all 4.
Well, to be fair, you were going to give up on dating. I was your last swipe right, and I swiped right back, and the rest is history. But we started messaging each other on a Wednesday, and we had our first face-to-face date on that following Saturday. So 3 days later, we had a date, and
that was a busy week.
And
I'm very charming.
Not been apart since, really. Hey?
Tell me about it.
And now we're together forever and ever till we die.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, Sharon. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's all right though.
So I think the takeaway message here, Hollie, is be very careful about who you swipe right on.
And no, but on a serious note, I remember when I would go on some dates, I would make we'd organise somewhere very public, but I'd always let friends know where I was in case I needed an excuse to leave or to be rescued. If something went wrong.
Did you ever get a rescue call? Like text a friend and ask them to give you a call so you could pretend something was up and you had to run?
Mm-mm.
No? There you go, Hollie. There's a good tip for you. If you meet up with Peloton guy, you can text one of your friends and ask them to give you a call.
Well, just have a. I mean, as security, as a woman and what have you, you need to.
Oh yeah, that's a whole podcast on itself. Security.
It's very hard dating in your 40s when you're like busy. When you're like the Queen of Yorkshire, when you're busy signing autographs in elite racing and all of this. It's like
Never say never.
Come on, where'd you find the time?
Well, you need an
Because
assistant.
I met Nathan the year I turned 40.
You're still not selling it.
Yeah, so there's hope.
So no,
yeah, right.
age is just a number. That is what I'm saying. Don't look at the numbers.
So I'm told. Yeah.
I think
But, yeah.
I think what needs to happen is we need to take over your Tinder profile.
20s, I mean,
We
sorry,
need
20.
to-
I'm 20.
We need
yes,
to
sorry.
swipe right on things.
Oh Jesus.
Sorry, yes, I'm in my 20s. 20. Nearly 21. Yeah, sorry. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I know I'm looking forward to
So there we go.
hearing
So
more stories.
Yeah. So there've been more story times with Holly next week. Let's see if I can get some messages and
Ooh,
stuff.
I can't
in
wait.
there.
Yeah, get some good ones. These ones have been a
Yeah.
little
Well, I'll
bit,
start doing the song lyrics thing. I've done the song lyrics
Oh,
thing
yeah,
before,
that's
where
a
you
good
just
one.
send a
You know,
song lyric.
You
one
can
after
still
the other
chat
and see
to
if
you can
anybody-
still chat to people. So I don't know, get a conversation going. It doesn't have, you don't have to have a
Yeah,
date.
there's been a couple where I get. Yeah, there is. All right.
Well,
fair
we
play.
want to
There
see
was a
I want to
couple
see
where I
those. We
am
want to see
actually
those.
talking
Next week
them
we want
like
to
a
see some
human being.
conversations. Go on. Screenshot some of the conversations.
Yeah. So you're thinking,
But,
being considerate and kind and talking to these people like they're actual human beings. And what we want you to do is act like a host of a podcast and get
Yeah,
some
anything for the
juicy,
clicks,
funny
right?
stories.
Well, the thing is, though, if they can deal with me being like that, then I might meet up with them. So it's only in their interest. But the thing is, everybody seems like to be like a long way from sunny Skipton. So I don't quite know how that's gonna. I'm waiting for the one guy that says I live in Watopia, and then I'll be like, right, this guy.
That's
we'll
it.
Get him on. That's it. Yeah.
Put a ring on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly, like, can you imagine if one of them says that I live in Watopia? I'd be like, what the fuck?
And his
Looks like
profile
it's
picture
something
was
for you.
like his avatar,
Avatar.
But at level 100 or something like that.
Yeah. That would
It's
be so
Eric
funny.
Min.
Yeah. Do it, people. Do it. That would be amusing. Yeah. So, why does I am not. Oh my god, I can't do text stuff.
Tech issues.
Yeah. I'm good there now. I'm good. I've pressed some buttons and whatnot, and
You've turned your
posted
computer on.
links and anywhere I've turned it on. Yeah, that's the only thing I turn on.
Or turn off, am I right?
Stop that.
You're right. Yeah. So then, I hope everybody subscribed to this because this is what we do it for, right? So. Every week I think, I'll get the ending right and nail it, but every week I'm like, nope. So, next week's episode, we discuss Holly's mental health, how to tip her over the edge. 3 tips of getting through the holidays, because not Easter, what? Christmas. Christmas can be really hard, actually. So
Yeah.
we discussed 3 tips about getting through the holidays, challenging ourselves. Like Sharon's going to do her workouts and try to battle through that. And then we start talking Christmas because it will be December next weekend, and how to stay fit and healthy over the Christmas period, and foods and things like that. So you need to go join our Discord channel, which is in the description below. If we've already established that. And you can suggest topics and questions, and you can suggest maybe as well as topics, but suggest opening sentences or things for my Tinder adventure. That'll be lovely. See if that works, because it's not working at the moment. That would be really helpful. Yep. I need all the advice I can get, because nothing's really working at the moment. Anyways,
But we need to
So,
see the pictures
thanks.
on your profile. I think that might help us.
oh yeah, I was gonna do that. Yeah, but they're just normal pictures. I think there's one of me cycling, one in normal clothes. I think there's 4 pictures. So, no, it's just of my avatar. Yeah, of me crossing. Yep, just of my avatar in different jerseys and stuff that I collect.
Oh, and your squirrel hat?
And my squirrel hat, yeah. Oh, they did change it I did change my hat for the Elite Race to the Watch the Femmes hat. because
Okay.
it looks. I think is it a restart kit and a Bluetron. I went with a Bluetron. I've heard it's the fastest bike.
Ben.
So
Bren's saying no GB jersey.
There is not a picture of me in my GB jersey on my Tinder profile. No.
Well, that's where it's
there
all
we
going
go.
wrong.
That's
Do
exactly.
you think that's where I'm going wrong?
Yep.
And you might
gotta
just have to unzip it just a little bit. Just
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, is that what you did? Not in your GB jersey. A South African jersey.
well,
That's what
no,
got
'cause
Nathan
I wasn't
to mind. He was
cycling
like,
back
"Oh,
then,
yeah."
so. But it might help. Just a fun pose,
Might
you know,
help.
in your
A little teaser.
little. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
might help.
Because I'll let you know. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So thanks folks for watching. Hit like, subscribe.
thanks,
and
guys,
It helps the
yeah.
algorithm. And see you next weekend. Same time, same place.
See you guys.